Okay. Here we are at the end of the last round of Swiss. I'm not sure if TheWatchWander or glendaloc can make it. Glendaloc was in 11th place going into this round, so I guess yes, there's definitely at least a mathematical chance. TheWatchWander in 21st, very bad tie breaks. So maybe top 16 being played for. Yeah, I don't know that it's definitely a win and in, but it seems like certainly win into top 16 for both players. Dig end of turn from watch. They're at 1-1, not very surprisingly. 7 cards in hand for glendaloc, but declines to counter if they have one. Big time discrepancy here. Glendaloc with 7.5 minutes, definitely the only one under time pressure. Slamming approach, maybe sensing weakness from the dig resolving, but no, not happening. I mean, glendaloc has only hit 4 lands, now 5 in 8 turns, so kind of some weakness being shown in the control mirror. Maybe watch has multiple approaches. Hard to say. Turning on a No More Lies seems kind of unfortunate, but maybe they're always relevant in the counter battles. Thasses and Thasses. Glendaloc looks like stuck at 5 lands on turn 9, not where you want to be in the control mirror. Scrying end of turn, probably just looking for lands. 0 top, 2 bottom. Land drop made. Okay. So I think the mana advantage probably matters with Thasses and No More Lies and so on, but glendaloc out of the woods in terms of like being able to cast spells, and with this Castle Vantress to sculpt the hand. The land drops continue unabated, presumably the scrying continues unabated. Could really come down to time here, and glendaloc trying to force the issue by making a win condition. Here's a condemn, plenty of mana to pay the ward and still keep up on the interaction. Really does look like clock is going to be highly relevant here. Scrying, always scrying, doing a little bit of clock damage every time. Maybe it's time to start coming in with Celestial Colonnade. Puts you pretty vulnerable to approaches on the other side. You're handling a bit less of a commitment than an attack with a Colonnade. And definitely something that can win a game in 5 minutes. Makes a 4/4 flyer next turn. And well, we'll see after that. Whether you want to go up and down each time is a choice. It's like another approach. Seems like one's resolved already, so this is game winning. Glendaloc has some interaction. It's forbid with buyback. Normalize here is very good. Has to be, well, looks like it's GG's. So probably the TheWatchWander top 16 but not top 8. Glendaloc losing from 11th. Might scrape in top 16, probably not. Let's see if there's any more matches going. Oh yeah, we have C001357, who is currently 9th going into this round with this Insidious Roots Hogaak deck. And looks like they're pretty far ahead here. So this is a winning into top 8, presumably. VelociHat, who we seem to be constantly following, was actually 18th with the lowest 12 points. C001357, the highest 12 points, the best breakers. So I guess not necessarily a winning in for C, and definitely not a winning in for VelociHat, who would need some kind of miracle to happen with the tiebreakers to be an X2 that made it. But definitely playing for top 16 with a win from 18th. So here's a Rubble Belt Maverick. Maybe there's an idea to putting a counter on the bat if it gets countered. Four cards in hand for VelociHat. Plenty of chance they have instant speed interaction for this Hogaak, and in fact there's no attack made here. Is that a mistap, or do they know something about the hand because of the bat? It's not any obvious way to trigger the roots here apart from casting another Hogaak. There's no dredge card in there. Here's Wrath. It's pretty good. Oh, there's a Grave Troll. There's a Grave Troll in the yard. So here we go. We can dredge the troll. We do not. Don't want to make a plant. Possibly looking for lands. This is turn 9 and that's just the 4th land drop. So maybe that unlocks something. Maybe a Dread Return on Iona. Naming white's probably pretty sick. And here it is, Dread Return. So that's why we didn't dredge. And that has resolved. So I'm going to say answers to this, pretty few in blue-white. Not enough mana to repeal Iona, that's pretty ambitious. Still a few turns away from that. Lagoon Breach, if they're playing the whale, would get it out of there in a way that's extremely pleasing. Wrath of God, obviously, okay. So they have Wrath and Dam post board, so no big deal. So I wonder if we dredge the troll here. Oh, so Dam getting around Iona's you can't cast white spells restriction there. That's important. Okay, we're just making a plant, growing a plant, using the activated ability from the graveyard. Now we can make a Hogaak. We've got 2 green or black creatures, which you must have to cast Hogaak. Plenty of stuff in the graveyard. It will make another plant. Make 2. more plants because they exiled 2 creatures. So in fact, if this gets countered or even exiled or whatever, you just go again immediately with all this fodder in the graveyard. But looks like they're just gonna assemble lethal and dare VelociHat to have another Wrath. Clearly got many post board. Okay, no, they're gonna bring back Iona, which begs the question, do you have specifically Dam rather than do you have any Wrath effect? So I'm going to path Hogaak, so it's our last chance to cast a white spell. Although this plant token is now a 6/7 and lethal, or will be, once Iona leaves. Okay, we're pathing the token. Yup. Still going to get a new token and an Iona, right? Yeah. So still presenting lethal and no white spells allowed. So again, we're on Dam, Lagoon Breach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still need 2 more mana to repeal Iona. So not enough time for that. Drawing, looking for the Dam, presumably. So this is the point in the tournament at which I regret cutting the Purify the Graves at Dat Rubino's insistence. And C001357 is into the top 8 with that win, winning from 9th place. Got to be one of the X2s with the best tiebreakers, I would think. See if there's anything still going on. That one's finished. Looks like that was the last. No, here we go. Litkakashi and Coupoutous, both of whom we've seen already. Litkakashi 14th before this round. Coupoutous 20th, both X and 2. So I think this is probably winning into top 16, but we'll see. Looks like Coupoutous on the beatdown, but some kind of crazy death cloud could put an end to all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 mana available to get all 3 creatures, 3 lands. I don't know if that's good, but okay, we've got a Soul Search. Sees Swamp, Spirited Companion, and Caves of Koilos. So some redraws in hand for Coupoutous, but Tocatli Honor Guard currently preventing the ETB on those. Would you run them out as 1/1s against an opponent on 30 in life with a 1/3? Probably not. So they're kind of dead cards right now. So managing the situation, taking 3 a turn, maybe 5 if they animate Shambling Vent. So something's got to give, but the current hand for Coupoutous not looking hot. There's one of the Caves of Koilos that we saw with the Soul Search. Here comes a Vent. We're just going to nug in for 5. So there comes a point, I suppose, at which the Death Cloud cannot be cast because it would kill Litkakashi. We're not quite there yet. But it might be getting to the point where it's more harm than good. Has his own Shambling Vent to animate and eat a 2/2 and gain 2 life. That seems like a pretty good move. We know there's not much on the other side apart from 1 mystery card. Maybe we had something better than that. Oh, we have something a lot better than that. The Eternal Wanderer definitely putting Litkakashi on the front foot here. Let's just check the record. I'm sure it's 1/1, but yeah, it's 1/1, so I'd say extremely likely to turn it around for litkakashi. I guess there are vindicates and similar things that could kind of undo it, leaving only the 2/2 double strike, although even the 2/2 double strike kind of stabilizes here, let alone the ability to do that every turn. Very hard to remove by attacking it. Only one creature can attack. Static ability. Again, blink stuff, which isn't very relevant right now, but the endless 2/2 double strikes and a kind of tragic arrogance option as well. Pretty good here. Might be the end of top 16 dreams for Coupoutous. Having a good old think about what the options are. Any single attacker just dies to Samurai. Maybe it's worth ignoring the Eternal Wanderer and going wide and getting in what would be 4 damage. Okay, yeah, and now goes up to, I guess, at least 5 damage if the next players animate the event attack. Put you to 3. Putting one's opponent to 3 when one plays Kaya is a pretty happy state. There's a Shambling Vent on litkakashi's side, which potentially matters. They've got quite a lot of mana available. This probably has to be attack or face. I don't think Coupoutous is aware of the Eternal Wanderer's static, preventing more than one creature attacking the Eternal Wanderer. But maybe attack or face is better anyway. I'm not sure. Infinite 2/2 double strikers, pretty good. But it's not like you could take down the Eternal Wanderer there. So goes to 3, needs something, but I guess the something could just be animate, Shambling Vent, block. Kaya, very strong. Can gain some life. It's probably the best mode here. A Phial of Galadriel has hit the board. It's a mana rock, and it's going to double the life gain of Kaya. Okay, corner case, but pretty useful here. Time becoming an issue for both players. Okay, going for the tragic arrogance mode of the Eternal Wanderer. It's actually slightly different to that, but anyway, it's leaves them with just a 1/2. Big ask to do 7 damage with a 1/2, even with a Shambling Vent and 3 cards in reserve, but possibly this match is coming down to time, not anything else. I wonder if there's something like a path here could do some serious damage to the Planeswalker situation. Novice Inspector kills the Eternal Wanderer and Shambling Vent. Okay, so there is a path. Pretty good. 2.5 minutes for Coupoutous. They can put Kaya to 2 loyalty, kill Eternal Wanderer, assuming this last card in hand isn't a single mana interactive card. Or they could hit for 3, put them to 4, but that will allow them to make a 2/2 double strike and tick Kaya next turn for double life, so presumably we want to attack Planeswalkers here. Yeah, and it's as predicted. 2 cards in hand, 3 cards in hand. Kaya on board, Novice and Spectre on board, both have a Shambling Vent. Fairly even. Litkakashi ahead on time, ahead on board, down on life. Interesting choice with the Kaya here. Can gain some life and keep her alive, draw a card, or flicker her. Gideon allies Zendikar to make a blocker pretty strong. This is going to be a lot of value for Coupoutous to overcome in 2 minutes 22 seconds. Okay. Especially when they have 2 lands. So pretty bold, going to 3, but kind of safe because, you know, they have these 2 planeswalkers. They're about to make a blocker. No chance of being attacked by a Shambling Vent. No haste. Gain some life off Kaya. Well, that's probably slamming the door right there. And the File of Galadriel again doubles life gain. So that's 8 life from Kaya, or 4 from File, 4 from Kaya, however you think about it. And so now it's a question of maybe these Coalition Relic triggers doing some clock damage and let Kakashi getting behind on time. But 7 power in play, unless this last card in hand for Coupoutous is a path or something, probably just going to finish off real quick. Kaya may be blinking here. Oh no, with Kaya was already activated to go to 7, was she? But nope, she was not. So Kaya blinking. And there's the kind of various lethals available. Next turn we're still 2 minutes on clock, although they are now level. If Coupoutous could draw some kind of miracle thing that somehow only costs 2. Taking 2 from his own Sarcomancies, down to 3. Shambling Vent plus Night Ally is lethal. Gideon is lethal. Death Cloud off the top is lethal. And there we have it. That's the end of the Swiss. And off we go to the top 8.